multiple choice questions. As we all know that in the annual examination or the board question paper, you will get 3 to 4 multiple choice questions under section A. Let's go ahead with multiple choice questions one by one. So here we discuss the multiple choice questions of all the chapters of second PUC business studies. The first chapter or the module, nature and significance of management. Here the first multiple choice question is, which of the following is not an objective of management? Listen to me properly. Which of the following is not an objective of management? Option A, earning of profits. Option B, growth of the organization. Option C, providing employment. And option D, policy making. So here the right answer is policy making. This is not an objective of management, but earning of profit, growth of the organization, providing employment opportunities to the public, these three are the objectives. But policy making, this is the function of top level management, hence this is not a objective. This is not an objective, hence policy making is the right answer. Second question, which of the following is not a function of management? Listen properly. Which of the following is not a function of management? So planning, option A, this is a function of management. Option B, staffing, function of management. Option C, cooperating, this is not a function. Cooperating, essence of management. And controlling, the last function or the end function of management. Hence cooperating, this is not a function of management. Hence right answer is cooperating. Management is, the question is related to nature of management. Option A, an art. B, a science. Option C, both art and science. And option D, none of the above or neither. So here the right answer is option C, both art and science, means applications of both art and science, that is our subject management. Let us move on the next question. Before we go ahead with the next question, let us get the clarity about answers. To the first question, policy making. To the second question, cooperating. To the last question, management is both art and science. Fourth question, policy formulation is the function of top level management, middle level management, operational level management, all of the above. Actually, the top level management use it to prepare plans and policies to the organization. Hence the right answer is top level management. Yes, the right answer, top level management. Coordination is function of management, the essence of management, an objective of management, none of the above. Actually, coordination, essence of management. It is not a function, it is not an objective. Hence the right answer is the essence of management, option B. The next question from the second chapter, principles of management. Here the first question is, principles of management are not universal, flexible, absolute, behavioral. Actually the right answer is absolute. So principles of management are not absolute, but principles are universal, flexible and behavioral. Hence the right answer is absolute. This is not pertaining to features of principles of management. Second question, how are principles of management formed or created? Option A, in a laboratory. Option B, by experiences of managers. Option C, by experiences of customers. And option D, by propagation of social scientists. Actually the right answer is option B, by experiences of managers. So experiences of managers make implementation of certain principles and policies in the organization. Hence the right answer is by experiences of managers. Yes, it's correct. Next question, which of the following statement best describes the principles of division of work? Option A, work should be divided into smaller tasks, labor should be divided, resources should be divided among jobs, it leads to specialization. Actually The principle of division of work, it is related to division of entire organizational work or task into smaller tasks. So option A, work should be divided into smaller tasks. This is the right answer. Fourth question, she or he keeps machines, materials, tools, etc. ready for preparation or operation by concerned workers whose work is described by this sentence under functional foremanship. Actually, in the functional foremanship, under production in charge, gang boss used to arrange and used to keep and used to make ready of all the required resources ready to the day-to-day operations. Hence, the right answer is gang boss, option C. So here we have four options: instruction card clerk, repair boss, gang boss, route clerk. Among these four, the right answer is option C, gang boss. Next, the third chapter, business environment. Here the first question, which of the following does not characterize the business environment? I means the feature or characteristic. Option A, uncertainty. Option B, employees. Option C, relativity. Option D, complexity. Option B, employees. So uncertainty, relativity, complexity, these three are the features. These three are features or characteristics, but employees not a characteristic of business environment. Hence, the right answer is option B, employees. Which of the following is an example for social environment? Option A, money supply in the economy, Consumer Protection Act, the constitution of the country, composition of family. The right answer is option D, composition of family. This is the suitable example and it is related to social environment. But money supply in the economy, this is related to economic environment. Consumer Protection Act, this is related to legal environment. Constitution of the country, that is related to political environment. But composition of family, this is related to socio-cultural environment. The right answer is option D. Now, let us move on the next question. Liberalization means option A, integration among economies, reduced government controls and restrictions, policy of planned disinvestments, and none of the above. Actually, the liberalization related to reduced government controls and restrictions. Option B is the right answer. But option A, integration among economies, this is related to globalization. To the question globalization, you can mention this to the 1 mark. What is globalization? Integration among different country economies. Then policy of planned disinvestments, this is related to privatization. And to the globalization, integration among economies, to the privatization, policy of planned disinvestments, to the liberalization, reduced government controls and restrictions. These statements means option A, option B, and C. These three are very useful to people to write answers to the 1 mark questions for the questions liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Fourth question, which of the following does not explain the impact of government policy changes on business and industry? More demanding customer, increasing competition, change in agricultural prices, and market orientation. So here the right answer is change in agricultural prices. So here observe the question, government policy changes on business and industry. There in the question itself, right, concept is very clear. The government policy impact on business and industry. Hence, the question is not related to the option C, change in agricultural prices. Hence, change in agricultural prices, the right answer, because government policy changes doesn't impact on change in agricultural prices, because this is related to primary sector, and business and industry, that's related to secondary sector of Indian economy. Yes, change in agricultural prices. Let us move on the next chapter, planning. Here the first question is, which of the following statements is not correct with regard to planning? It is a mental exercise. Yes. It is a feature. It provides direction for the future actions. Of course. It is end function in the process of management. Wrong, because the end function in the process of management controlling, the primary function is planning, hence to the planning function option C, it is not connected to that, hence option C is the right answer. It is end function in the process of management. Next, it involves setting of objectives and developing. Actually, planning for setting of objectives and developing planning premises. Actually, setting of objectives and developing planning premises we discuss in the process of planning. Hence, it is end function in the process of management. This is not related to planning. Hence, the right answer is option C. Yes, option C. Which of the following is not the feature of the planning? It focuses on achieving objectives. It involves in identification and division of work. It is the primary function of management. It is pervasive function. Except option B, else statements are absolutely correct with regard planning, but identification and division of work, B, it involves in identification of division of work. This statement is related to organizing. Hence, the right answer, it involves in identification and division of work. Yes, option B. Which of the following is an example for the single use plan? Actually, in the organization, we use various types of plans. Some single use plans, some standing plans we use in the organization. But here the question is, which of the following is an example for the single use plan among four options? Option A, policy, option B, procedure, option D, method, and option C, budget. Actually, policy, procedure, and method are standing plans, but option C, budget, this is the suitable example to single use plan. Hence, the right answer is option C. Next chapter, organizing. Here the first question, which of the following is not an element of delegation? Option A, accountability, option B, authority, option C, responsibility, and option D, informal organization. So here the delegation related to option A, B, and C, but option D, informal organization, this is not related to delegation. Hence the right answer is option D, informal organization. Second question, a network of social relationship that arises spontaneously due to interaction at work is called formal organization, informal, decentralization, and delegation. Actually, the network of social relationship that arises spontaneously due to interaction at work is called informal organization. Dear students, this statement is very useful to you all to write answer to the 1 mark question, informal organization. If you get informal organization as a question under section A, you can mention this question as an answer. A network of social relationship that arises spontaneously due to interaction at work is called informal organization. Option B is the right answer. Option B, the right answer. Now, the third question, which of the following does not follow the scalar chain in the organization? Actually, functional, divisional, and formal organizations follow the scalar chain, means to delegate authority from higher levels to lower levels in the organization, even communication. But in informal organization, we do not follow scalar chain or any formal channels of communication. Hence, the right answer is option D, informal organization. Fourth question, for delegation to be effective, it is essential that responsibility be accompanied with necessary option A, authority, manpower, incentives, promotion. Option A is the right answer. After the delegation of authority, responsibility will be delegated. Hence, option A is the right answer, authority. Now, let us move on the next question. Span of management refers to. Actually, the span of management means number of subordinates under a superior or number of people under a superior or higher authority, or the particular person who is in a charge, who is in a in charge or authority of particular work. So here option A, number of managers, length of term for which a manager appointed, number of subordinates under a superior, number of members in the top management. Actually, the span of management refers to number of subordinates under a superior or boss. So the right answer is option C. Yes, the right answer option C. Grouping of activities on the basis of functions is a part of decentralized, divisional, functional, centralized organization. Actually, grouping of activities on the basis of functions is a part of functional organization structure. Actually, in the organization structure, we discuss two types of organization structures. One is functional, another one is divisional. So here, the grouping of activities on the basis of functions is functional organization. Yes, the right answer option C, functional organization. Now let us move on the next chapter, that is staffing. The first question, which of the following is not a function of staffing? Actually, recruitment, training, compensation, these three are the elements or the functions or the responsibilities of human resource manager in staffing function. But directing, this is not a function in the staffing. Directing is a fourth function of management. Directing is a fourth function of management. Hence, directing, this is not related to and it doesn't belong to the staffing process or staffing function. Hence, the answer is option D, directing. Which one of the following is an internal source of recruitment? Actually, in the organization, HR manager to recruit employees, they go ahead with internal and external sources. In internal sources, promotion and transfer. In external sources, employment exchange, advertisement, campus recruitment, placement agencies, and many more techniques. So here the right answer is option A, transfer. This is an internal source of recruitment. Promotion of employees result in. So when employees are promoted for the higher level jobs, usually management increase their salaries, increase their payment and increase responsibilities and provide more benefits, provide more opportunities and authority to the people. And obviously, when management provide more and more facilities, employees get higher level job satisfaction. So here we have some options. Increase in job satisfaction, obviously, absolutely right. Increase in pay, definitely. Increase in responsibilities, 100% correct. So option D, all of the above. So right answer is option D, all of the above. Means when employee get the promotion, increase in job satisfaction will happen, increase in pay, increase in responsibilities, these three may happen. Hence all of the above is the right answer, option D. Which of the following is on the job method of training? Question number 4. Which of the following is on the job method of training? Usually, after the selection of employees and after the orientation, training is very essential to improve the skills, knowledge, and ideas of employees related to the work. So there are two methods of training. One is on the job method, another one is off the job method of training. In on the job training, we discuss apprenticeship, internship, job coaching, job rotation. In off the job method training, vestibule, case study, computer modeling, and then programmed instructions and films we discuss. So here the question, which of the following is on the job method of training? Case study, coaching, vestibule training, computer modeling. Actually, coaching, job coaching, also called as job instructions. So job coaching or coaching is the right answer, option B. This is on the job method of training. And case study, vestibule and computer modeling, these three are related to off the job methods of training. Let us move on the next chapter, that is directing. In the directing, first question, which of the following is not an element of direction? motivation, communication, delegation, supervision. Usually, to direct employee towards organizational plans and objectives, motivation, communication, and supervision, these three are very essential. But delegation, this is related to transfer of authority. Hence, delegation, this is not related to direction and it is not an element of direction. Hence, the right answer is option C, delegation. The motivation theory, which classifies needs in a hierarchical order, is developed by, actually, the motivation theory has developed or had developed by Abraham Maslow, means Sir Abraham Maslow developed motivation theory. There we discuss physiological, safety, social, self-esteem and self-actualization needs. Hence, the right answer is option C, Abraham Maslow. Here we have four options: Fred Luthans, Scott, Abraham Maslow, Peter F. Drucker. So, Peter F. Drucker, as we all know, that is a father of management. P. F. Drucker, father of management. So, Abraham Maslow, he has developed motivation theory. Option C. Which of the following is not an element of communication? Actually, in the communication process, encoding, decoding, sender, receiver, channel, message, these are the essential components or the essential aspects to have a conversation or communication with else people in the organization or with somebody else. But communication, this is not an element of communication. Actually, communication is the main aspect in that communication. Communication is not an element, hence the right answer is option B, communication. Let us move on. The next question: the highest level need in the need hierarchy of Abraham Maslow is safety need, belongingness, self actualization, prestige need. Dear students, the basic needs, also called as physiological needs, that is the first level in the Maslow's hierarchy. Second level, safety and security needs. And the third level, social needs or the belongingness needs. And the next need, that is self esteem need. Self esteem need, also called as prestige need. And finally, self actualization need. Here the question related to the highest level need in the need hierarchy of Abraham Maslow. In the Abraham Maslow's theory or the motivation theory or in that model, self actualization need, this we recognize in the peak level, in the final stage. Actually, self actualization need, this is the highest level need in the hierarchy of Abraham Maslow. Option C is the right answer, self actualization need. Yes. Grapevine is formal communication, barrier to communication, lateral communication, informal communication. Actually, grapevine is informal communication. Grapevine, nothing but informal. Now, let us move on. The next question: status comes under the following type of barriers. In the organization, there are so many barriers to the communication between the people: semantic barrier, organizational, non semantic, and psychological barriers. So, here status comes under organizational barrier. Yes, the right answer is organizational barrier. Let us move on. The next question, that is the software company promoted by Narayan Murthy is, actually the Narayan Murthy, we call him as Infosys Narayan Murthy, right? Hence, the right answer is Infosys, option B, Wipro, Infosys, Satyam, HCL. So, among these four options, option B, Infosys, is the right answer. The question number 8, the process of converting the message into communication symbol is known as media, encoding, feedback, decoding. Actually, the right answer is encoding, option B. To the same question, for example, let me change the question. Converting the communication symbol into message is called decoding, right? Converting the communication symbol into message called decoding. Converting message into communication symbols, that is encoding, option B. The communication network in which all subordinates under a supervisor communicate through supervisor only is wheel. Actually, in the wheel network, actually in the formal communication channels, single chain, inverted V, wheel, free flow, these networks we see. The wheel network, in this, all the subordinates do not get any freedom or liberty, or they cannot take self decisions to communicate each other, I mean to share their ideas and views. They do not get the freedom. Here they should ask the permission and they should communicate through their supervisor only in the organization. That is wheel network. Option C is the right answer. Now let us move on. The next chapter, controlling. Controlling, this is an end function of management or the last function of management. In this controlling chapter, the first question is controlling function of an organization is forward looking, backward looking, both forward as well as backward looking, none of the above. So here option B, forward as well as backward looking. To the question controlling function of an organization and even the planning function of an organization. So planning and controlling both are forward looking as well as backward looking. Option B is the right answer. Next, second question, management audit is a technique to keep a check on the performance of question itself. Says in the question itself we observe that management audit, actually management audit to check the management of the company. Option B is the right answer. We have four options. Option A, company. Option B, management of the company. Option C, shareholders. Option D, customers. So option B, management of the company is the right answer. Budgetary control requires the preparation of option A, training schedule. Option B, budgets. Option C, network diagram. Option D, responsibility centers. Actually, budgetary control requires the preparation of various budgets in the organization related to day-to-day activities. Right? Option B, budgets, the right answer. Let us move on the next question. Which of the following is not applicable to responsibility accounting? Option A, investment center. Option B, accounting center. Option C, profit center. Option D, cost center. Actually, the responsibility accounting in each and every departments of the organization, management used to establish responsibility centers. So there the management expects the preparation of certain records and preparation of certain statements related to the day-to-day activities of the department. So here the options investment center, accounting center, profit center, cost center. Actually, accounting center, this is not a part of responsibility accounting. Investment center, profit center, cost center, and revenue centers are the elements, are the parts of responsibility accounting, but accounting center, this is not related to, or this is not pertaining to responsibility accounting. Option B is the right answer. Now let us move on the last chapter and very important chapter, financial management. As we all know that financial management and effective financial management very important in each and every organization in order to seek growth and development, and for the expansion, growth, diversification, for the profit maximization, and long run survival, and to meet day to day expenses of the organization, and to increase financial capability of the business, and to make company financially strong. Effective financial management is very important, right? So in the financial management, first question is the cheapest source of finance is, do remember students, always retained earnings, usually before distribution of dividends among the shareholders. In the company earnings, or in the company revenue, or in the company's revenue before the distribution of dividends, after the payment of tax and after the payment of interest rates, retained earnings are Pluff back of capital means certain portion of PAT will be maintained as reserve or retained earnings in the organization. It will be useful for the further financial requirements of the business to manage or to face future uncertainties or shortage of capital or emergency capital emergency. To balance all those uncertain situations, companies use it to maintain retained earnings. Actually, the cheapest source of finance is retained earnings compared to other sources of finance. So here we have four options: debenture, we pay interest rate; equity share capital, we pay dividend; preference shares, we pay dividend; but retained earnings, this is owners fund, and the contributed are sacrificed by owners of the organization, that's called retained earnings. So retained earnings always and ever cheapest source of finance. Question number 2, the decision of acquiring means purchase a new machine or opening a new branch is an example for financing decision, working capital, investment, and none of the above. Actually, in the financial management decisions or in the financial decisions, there are three decisions: financing, investment, and the dividend. So always the decisions related to purchase of machineries or any assets, that's related to investment decision. So option C, investment decision. Question number 3, the decision of how much to be raised from which source is an example for financing, working capital, investment, and none of the above. Actually, financing decision related to take the decision about how much to be raised. How much to be raised means how much capital to be raised from which source. It will be decided in the organization, that's called financing decision. Next question, companies with higher growth pattern are likely to pay. Actually, when companies have some growth plans and when companies have certain plans to expand their business activities, to concentrate on business growth and developments, on this plans and expectations of the business, companies use to declare less amount as dividends, less amount for the dividends, and they pay and they maintain more reserves in the organization. Actually, the right answer is option A, to pay lower dividends. Yes. Current assets are those assets which get converted into cash. Actually, current assets, all type of current assets, maturity period will be less than 1 year. So here option A, within 6 months; B, within 1 year; C, between 1 and 3 years; D, between 3 and 5 years. Option B, within 1 year, means all current assets converted into cash within the 1 year. A fixed asset should be financed through, means a fixed asset should be financed through, means purchased. Long term liability, option A; option B, short term; option C, mix of long and short term liabilities; D, none of the above. Actually, fixed assets financed through long term, so long term liability to the organization. Option A is the right answer. Thank you, my dear students. Thanks for watching. Do share, subscribe, and comment. Take care. Be safe. Be healthy. Stay at home. Don't travel unnecessarily. And take care of your family members. Thank you. Thanks a lot.